When we think about operations and specifically operations management, we're talking about the way that we do our work, changing inputs into outputs. That means serving customers if you're in a service environment, or making a manufactured product if you're in manufacturing, or something in between. We're thinking about getting inputs into outputs as efficiently and effectively as possible. Can I get rid of wasted time, wasted energy, wasted efforts? Can I do my work more efficiently? That is what operations managers try to do. So not only are they managing the actual work getting done, but they're also managing the process of that work to look for areas of improvement. So when we think about how the processes work, well, as operations managers, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at all the things that our company needs to basically create value to customers. So that is people, workers, managers, equipment, physical facilities and spaces, materials, inventory, and even things like land and energy. All of those go into the process of work, which becomes ultimately the service we provide or the product that we make. Now, ultimately, we want customers to buy our products and services. So we need to make sure we are providing value to them, something they're willing to pay money for. And a good company will not only figure out how to provide value, but increase that value to a customer over time. So we have information feedback loops from customers that help inform our processes to get better. And we also have information from our various systems. So this could be information systems, our equipment, or our employees that are giving us feedback on how things are going and ways that we might be able to improve. Now, when it comes to how operations fits within a business, we are not in isolation as operations managers. We have to work very closely with other functional areas of business. So, for example, operations is highly integrated with finance and marketing. Let me explain. If I want to be able to do my work, to be able to process inputs into outputs, provide a service, or make a manufactured good, I need money to make any of that happen. I might have to build a facility or hire workers or buy equipment. That requires money. So, money comes from our finance function of an organization that allows for us to ultimately have operations. So, transforming inputs into outputs, actually doing the work to provide value to customers. And then the marketing function will sell that product or service to the market. And assuming that marketing function goes well, it will bring in more money, which will allow for more operations, which will allow for more marketing and more money and more operations, and so on and so forth. Now, since these are highly integrated kind of functional areas, if any of these areas has a problem or a breakdown, then the whole cycle can break down and you can actually go out of business. Let me explain. So, as an operations professional, if I have a disruption, let's say a factory fire, or a hurricane comes through, or a major flood, or even things like worker strikes or electrical outages, then I can't make my product or provide my service. And then my marketing team has nothing to sell. And therefore, I'm not generating any money. And that can quickly become a problem. So operations disruptions can be disruptive to the rest of the company, of course, but you can also have marketing function breakdowns. If your marketing function doesn't have clarity on who the product or service is intended for, or works well for, and you have a marketing breakdown, then you don't have proper sales and you're not bringing in proper revenue. Likewise, if you lose access to capital markets, that can hinder your ability to not only start up if you're a new company, but let's say expand or grow into new facilities. So, all of these functional areas, finance, operations, and marketing, have to work well together as a well oiled machine for your company to have ongoing success. Now, they're not the only functional areas of business, of course. You have all of your support functions, accounting, information systems, HR, engineering, many more functions that support these core relationships. But the operations function specifically is managing getting the work done and the way that work is getting done. See you next time.